Viewers, there are no signs of easing of tension between Turkish troops and fighters of HTS on M4 in Idlib, Syria. The most recent episode of flaring up of tensions between Turkish forces and fighters of HTS we saw on 26th of April. Viewers, fighting between Turkish troops and HTS fighters. 2 HTS members were killed and several Turkish soldiers were wounded in a mortar attack by HTS members. Then after that, viewers, we saw that HTS protesters, they blocked the border crossing between Turkey and Idlib at Bab al-Hawa, and in response to that, viewers, Turkey closed a custom point, a trade crossing managed by HTS at Maratun Nasan. Tension is still there, viewers. Now, what I want to discuss in this video, viewers, is what are the real reservations of HTS? Why is Hayat Tahrir al Sham so much opposed to joint Turkey-Russia patrols along M4 highway? Viewers, 3 main objections raised by HTS. Firstly, HTS wants to use M4 highway solely for the purpose of revenue collection, and HTS wants to be the sole beneficiary of this revenue collection. At the start of this year, viewers, HTS was collecting its revenues from 2 important checkpoints, one in Aleppo and the other one in Hama. These 2 checkpoints, these 2 trade crossings, they were captured by Syrian government forces. Then war broke out between Syria and Turkey, and M5 highway had to be surrendered. So now HTS is left with only M4 highway. Here HTS has established several custom points at different areas like Al-Nairab, Maratun Nasan and some other areas. These checkpoints are the places where revenue is collected from the vehicles which pass through these areas. Now HTS wants to be the sole beneficiary of this revenue collection, and it does not want Turkey-Russia joint patrols to start along this area, because if these joint patrols start here, this revenue collection of HTS, it will be disrupted, viewers. Secondly, viewers, Turkey does not want HTS to be sole beneficiary of this revenue collection. Turkey wants some share for the proxies which it is backing, like New Liberation Front, NLA, then Syrian National Army, SNA. So Turkey wants share for these proxies as well in this revenue collection. This is the first most important aspect of this opposition of HTS to joint Turkey-Russia patrols, and it is mostly overlooked, viewers. Secondly, viewers, Turkey wants to establish a new force here in Idlib. Turkey cannot stay in Idlib forever, it will have to leave this area, but before leaving Idlib, Syria, Turkey wants to form a new force. And in order to make this new force acceptable to the world, Turkey wants to rebrand HTS. HTS is banned in different countries, viewers, and it was affiliated with Al-Qaeda in the past. Some countries believe it is still affiliated with Al-Qaeda. So Turkey wants to make it acceptable to the world. Turkey wants to rebrand it. That is why there are differences in HTS regarding this intrusion of Turkey in the matters of HTS. In 2017, viewers, when Turkey established its posts here in Idlib, Syria, there were defections in HTS and a new group, Rasuddin, was established. This new group, Rasuddin, it basically consisted of defectees of HTS, and these people, these fighters, they were against Turkey's, they were against those concessions that were provided by HTS to Turkey. So now again we are seeing that some hardliners, they are leaving HTS. Abu Malik Al-Tali, we saw just a few days ago, he resigned, and he was also against this Turkish influence in HTS. So there are divisions, differences in HTS with regard to Turkish interference in the matters of HTS. That is why HTS believes, some factions of HTS believe that if joint Turkey-Russia patrols start M4 highway, importance of HTS will be decreased, and if this new force is established, Turkish proxies like SNA and NLF, they will have more importance in this new force, and HTS will be wiped off. That is why they don't want to be part of this new force. Thirdly, viewers, the third most important reservation of HTS is that they believe that wherever Russians went as mediators, wherever they went in Syria, ultimately opposition groups were wiped off. They cite the example of Dara, then they cite the example of Aleppo, that in these two areas Russians mediated, but ultimately opposition was wiped off from these areas and Syrian government forces captured those areas. So now HTS does not want Russia to set foot on M4 highway, because they believe that if Russians come here along with Turkey, ultimately opposition will be eliminated from these areas. So these were three major objections of HTS, viewers. In the coming days, we'll see if there is any decrease in the tension between Turkey and HTS. Both the sides cannot afford to prolong these tensions, viewers. Let's see what happens. Thank you for watching.